Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, hello, my beautiful people of YouTube. It's nice to see you here today. The first one in chat, Lady Dragon. Good morning, followed behind Denise. Lady Dragon, I already said you. GLB, it's nice to see you. Kelly May, Tina, being baby New York, or being baby Brooklyn. Good gracious. Pale Rider, it's nice to see you. Pauline, it's good to see you. Decor and more. Crime Traveler, it's nice to see you. Danielle, Ashley, Hazel Eyes, it's nice to see you. Debbie, Colette, Nicole, Izzy, Penny, Lindsay, Ginger's in the house, Paula, Rosebud, and our beautiful Merle's mom. It's nice to see our beautiful Turtle Madness. Good morning, my love. The real me too is out there driving. What is that song called? I don't know. It's on YouTube. I'll have to find out what it's called. It's one of the songs that they've got on here. I can't remember the name of it. I did that. Oh, good gracious, 3 years ago. Trust me, my brain's not that good. Okay, it's not that good. Oh, it's nice to see you, Cindy, Nola's mom. Good morning, Elizabeth. What is it? Gina, it's nice to see you. If I said hi to you, Dawn, I'm not sure. Denise, hey. Ruth, it's nice to see you. Phil, Bongo, Bill, breaking news. Yeah, we're going to be covering some other breaking news in the cycle. If you read the description, I think I expressed that and explained that pretty well. Good morning, Elle Fig. It's nice to see you. Paula, Mama Philly. Truth in Time, Linda Powell, it's nice to see you. Michelle, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nicole Lynn, Lindsay, it's nice to see you. And the other people that are metal, it's nice to see you. Kelly, good morning, good morning, good morning. Me and you, JB, Penny, Debbie. I am Team Summers up in the house. Good afternoon or good morning, Jen. It's nice to see you. Bell Song, RKB. It's nice to see you all. For all the other people that are joining, good morning / we're rolling into afternoon in just about 10 minutes. Harley, it's nice to see you. There's been a lot of cases going on in the news that have gone by the wayside. Breaking news that we are not watching right now that needs avocation. We're going to start off with some updates on a few cases, and then we're going to get into some breaking news from around this country that is going to disturb each and every one of us to our core. So you're going to want to stick around for that. And then we're going to provide, after we get through these, more information about Sebastian Rogers, any updates and things of that nature. I just wanted to assure everybody the searches that have been going on for 2 days are continuing today. We'll get into that a little bit later in this segment. Again, it's great to see you. Happy Saturday. I'm coming from office too, as you can see. I could put a thing behind me. I'm not going to do that. It's Saturday. I've got a lot of court papers here and I've got a sleeping puppy. So it is what it is. We're just going to roll through it, right? We're just going to roll through it. The first on the block right now is Rex Heuermann. He is the serial killer from Long Island. This man is a monster. He's an ogre. It's a huge, huge man. And it scares the crap out of me because a lot of these women that are his victims were petite in nature, had some, oh, hey, Uncle Mike, it's nice to see you. Had substance abuse problems in many of the cases. They were kind of escorts, if you will, saying it very nicely. Their business was them, okay? And that puts those types of people, hey, B Betty, it's nice to see you, my love. Those put those types of people that do that type of work in extreme danger all the time. Most of the time, their Johns pay them and everybody goes on their way. It's whether we agree with it or not, it's an exchange of services for profit. And typically after, the work is done, both parties go their separate ways. Well, in this case, there are some sick and twisted and demented people out there in this country that want something that they can't have. And some people like snuff type of stuff. And that's what I feel is here. We have a serial killer that has a certain type of appetite and proclivity to wanting to harm or getting excited by hurting women in some of the most sensitive ways possible. So this is just an update on that. Again, he's been charged with originally 3 people, which today, the reason why we are running this today is because today marks the 1 year that he was arrested. Mary, it's nice to see you. DNA, it's nice to see you. If we've got 4 flying dubs in the house, nice to see you as well. And I think, Danielle, it's nice to see you. Governor Pincus, it's nice to see you. So we're going to be talking about him, and then we'll move forward. I'm running it off the computer because I did my research on this stupid MacBook computer. I don't know why. I think this was in the kitchen or something like that. And then when I had to go, because there's so many tabs here, when I had to look at it, I'm like, oh crap, this is not going to. There's no way I'm going to get it over on this computer without taking another hour to search for all these things. So I'm running. You're going to see me working down here because this is where the MacBook is, and this is where the other computer is. So just bear with me. I'm going to get it up now, and we are going to just get a little update on Rex Heuermann.
4 women in the Gilgo Beach area of Long Island, New York. Well, now he faces 2 new murder charges. State prosecutors say that Rex Heuermann also murdered Jessica Taylor and Sandra Costilla. The latest indictment comes as prosecutors in Suffolk County, the Ray Turney, the DA there, says that there's a gruesome document that shows the extent of Heuermann's planning. Brian is live here in New York City with more on the new indictment. Brian?
Eric, prosecutors now believe Rex Heuermann was killing women for much longer than they previously thought, as far back, in fact, as 1993. The 60-year-old architect, suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer, was initially charged with the murders of 4 women. This week, he was charged with the murder of 2 additional women, including 28-year-old Sandra Costilla, whose remains were discovered in 1993, and 20-year-old Jessica Taylor, who disappeared in 2003 while working as an escort in New York City. She was decapitated and both arms were severed. Heuermann pleaded not guilty earlier this week to the new charges. Now, prosecutors say they were able to use new forensic testing to match hairs of both victims to Heuermann's DNA. Investigators also revealed a chilling discovery, a so-called blueprint used by Heuermann to plan out his kills. The blueprint or planning documents included body prep notes or reminders like, quote, remove marks from torture and things to remember, get sleep before hunt, too tired creates problems, and use heavy rope for neck. The Suffolk County District Attorney said this is a lot of evidence showing intent and planning.
What we would allege is the more rested the participants are, the more you can get done. And he also talks about the document also talks about crime scene. And if you're sleepy and spending too much time in a crime scene, or your lack of sleep, your chances of making mistakes increase.
There is an avalanche of evidence, including 350 electronic devices. They've called in the Secret Service to help analyze things like 58 internal hard drives, 46 cell phones. The DA, Eric, said this case and investigation continues. In fact, prosecutors said it's fair to say that Heuermann is the suspect of the murder of Valerie Mack, who disappeared in 2000 at just 24 years old and whose remains were found around Gilgo Beach. Eric?
Wow, that list written out allegedly by him, just shocking. Brian, thank you.
Yes, that is quite shocking indeed. Quite shocking indeed. Let me stop this one here. I'm not ready to play this next clip, and it's ready to play. So we're going to be going over a different story here in just a moment. But Rex Heuermann, we heard about this case back in the middle 2000s. Nobody heard of anything. Nobody saw anything. All of a sudden, this Shannon Gilbert went to a house. She was also an escort. She was dropped there by her driver, and she disappeared. And she disappeared in this area. And oh, thank you, Debbie. Thank you. If you received your gifted Bullhorn Betty memberships, please don't forget to tell Debbie. Thank you. God bless you. And so what we had going on here is nobody knew anything. And nobody even, Some of these people were reported missing. Some of these people have never been reported missing. There's people out there that have never been reported missing. But what really bothers me is the condition of the last one. She was severed. And if you know that there were a couple, and there was one from 90, what did they say, 93, that she disappeared. Well, if you remember, we have two bodies on that stretch of Gilgo Beach that were kind of scattered. One was in Fire Island, you know, and I said it's very difficult, but somebody brought something to my attention because I said, you know, it's really difficult for me to believe that somebody would go from this torture type of, you know, this severing of people to the staging and positioning of people, which is what they found with the Gilgo 4. They're kind of in the same clump of area, and they were more in line with being staged there as opposed to anything else. So there was other people there, and I thought that there was two serial killers, and there probably is. But now that we hear this one that's been attached to Rex that has been severed, it kind of puts those other two, Peaches and Cherry, into play. And I think it was Cherry's baby. It might have been Peaches' baby. I think it's Cherry's baby into play as far as him having something to do with them. Now, I am completely unsure whether that be the case, but I kept asking, you know, I kept saying, you know, I've never heard somebody, you know, I've heard somebody intensifying, but never detensifying. But here's the kicker. He's aging. He's 60 years old when he was arrested. Could that explain why he didn't have the stamina to do what he did back in the 90s? You know, because it seemed like the late 90s, like mid to early 2000s, rather, there was a lot of more depravity with the dumping of some of the women. So congratulations to all. Thank you. Thank you. That is sweet. Congratulations to all that became members. It's nice to see you. So there is that. And we've been going through a lot of stuff. Okay, this is not the only case that's gone by the wayside since we've been covering Sebastian Rogers' case. There's been a lot of updates in the Alec Murdaugh case as well that I haven't really seen a whole lot of people other than mainstream media talk about it, or at least not the commentary that I typically watch or review. So I thought that this was interesting. This is our beloved Vinnie Politan. Hold on. Why is it not letting me? It's not letting me find. Why won't it let me find there it is. There it is.
Officially appealing his murder conviction. You need to know tonight. Take a look at the big board. Who's there? It's Alec Murdaugh back. He's officially appealing his murder conviction, but wants to go straight to the Supreme Court of South Carolina because he says the judge in that post-trial hearing applied the wrong standard.
I was there. If you guys remember, I was there. The Real Me Too was there. And Paralegal Liz were there. The book writer that was with him, Neil Gordon, and his wife were there. I got pictures with them and spoke with them. So we have Neil Gordon there, and we were all, I have to be honest with you, it was a shocker because first and foremost, it comes down to the jurors, okay? The judge brought the jurors in and asked them, each one, whether or not what Becky Hill did would have affected the outcome of their verdict. Okay? They all said no. They would have, oh, only M, it's nice to see you. Thank you. 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you guys received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to thank Only M for those memberships. But when Becky got on that stand, I was sitting in the courtroom. So was the Real Me Too. That lady lied through her teeth. And not only did we know that she lied through her teeth, the judge knew she lied through her teeth. The good news is what Becky Hill did did not affect the verdict of the jurors. Now, what they're trying to say is that because the egg lady was thrown off improperly, is basically, I think, what they said, that was her putting her hands on the scales of justice, because that one juror may have, done the mistrial. That one juror could have triggered the mistrial, and I think that that's what they wanted. But Becky Hill, they were trying to say made up this story, which the story wasn't made up. There was posts out there. My understanding is she tagged the wrong person or something like that, potentially. Was it intentional or not? To be honest with you, I'm not in this woman's mind. I don't know what Becky Hill was thinking. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know. I can tell you that I didn't believe it until I saw it for myself. And you guys know that I had her back. But the one thing that started changing me was when her son got arrested for listening in, right? For listening in on conversations. And I thought, I know Southern boys. I know Southern boys that have good relationships with their mamas. And I'm sorry, but that boy did not make that decision to do that all by himself. Even if he did concoct that himself, he wouldn't have done it without his mother's permission or his mother's blessings. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. I really just don't believe it. So it is a little frustrating, to say the least, because I truly believe that Becky was very close to losing this entire case, and her losing her job there and hopefully being prosecuted will be the just desert she deserves. And I'm sorry, I like the lady. I had no qualms with the lady, but I'm a law and order person, and I believe in our legal system. I do. Is it perfect? It's not perfect. And when it does go against you in an imperfect world, you have to go through hell and back to prove it, right? Because the appellate process, it's very difficult to get through the appeals process, period. Okay. So there is that. And so we we knew that this would happen. We knew he was going to appeal the crap out of this, but we're very thankful she didn't jeopardize this case so much so. But the case is still not over. Now, his arguments are going to be heard, most likely, because they may turn him down, depending on what his arguments are. But with Mr. Griffin and Mr. Hartpulian, they are very good at what they do. I'm pretty sure that they'll have all the stuff that they need in that record to get it pushed through to at least be heard before the appellate court. Now, I know Miss Toll's background. She is literally short of amazing, not just in her legal expertise, but being one of the first ladies admitted to the Supreme Court of South Carolina. She is very, very good at what she does. She was in a job when there wasn't very many women in this position, and she excelled at it and worked her butt off. She probably had to work 10 times, 100 times harder than every person around her because she was the underdog in that area. And then she was admitted, rightfully so, to the Supreme Court of South Carolina. Just an amazing lady, amazing resume for her, and absolutely feel that she applied the appropriate law where it was due. So again, it's going to the appellate court, and we'll see what the appeals court has to say. But I don't think they're going to I don't think they're going to give him any. They're going to make him work for it if he does have a claim. I don't think he does. Let's listen. Let's just listen.
When he was making allegations that the jury had been tampered with by the clerk, he says that it was wrong to put the burden on him to prove that the jury was being tampered with, and not putting the burden on the prosecution to prove that the jury wasn't tampered with. We've got our think tank still with us. Ann Bremner, Randy Kessler, Alex Areza. Alex, what do you think? Does he have a shot here?
I don't think it's going to matter, because Judge Toll brought the jurors into the court hearing and questioned them as to whether or not they would have changed their verdict had they not heard or whatever Becky did. And they said across the board, even the lady that kind of kicked up dust said no. She didn't feel pressured from, oh, thank you, Lisa. God bless you. She didn't feel pressured from the clerk. She felt pressured from the other jurors in the room, and that's why she changed her position. That's not enough. That is not enough to change or get a new trial, in my opinion. And I think the judge was right in her assessment of this. You know, if had the jurors not came in there and spoke to the judge on the record, he might have a bite at the apple, in my opinion. But the way it is right now, I just don't believe it to be so. So, you know, obviously Murdaugh's attorneys claim federal sentencing for financial crimes unconstitutional. Here's our next little clip about the financial crimes. So they're hitting this in all fronts.
Time we had a hard
And
time. Just
we're going to have to listen to a little commercial.
women, and just 8% are Hispanic.
Hopefully we'll get through it quickly.
It's way too big. DeVry Scholars programs are designed to help more underrepresented communities pursue tech careers. Let's help close the
I
gap
can't even
at
see it.
DeVry.edu.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for the news at 3. I'm Raphael James. We have just learned that convicted murderer Alec Murdaugh is now appealing his sentence for his federal financial crimes. Murdaugh's attorneys claim that the sentence given to him is unconstitutional under the 8th Amendment, which protects citizens from excessive bail, fines, and cruel and unusual punishments.
That's going nowhere. That is going, where's that one going? This is going nowhere. So he's appealing on all fronts. He's appealing his sentencing for financial crimes. Which I'm pretty sure he settled or something like that. I don't know if he's going to be able to bring this forward. I'm interested in this. So he's going to be appealing the financial crimes, and he's appealing his verdict in his double homicide case. So we knew this was going to come. I told you guys this when I left the courthouse for the financial crimes, that this is not the end of Alec Murdaugh. We talked about this at length, multiple appeals he's going to be doing. He's going to be doing this for the next 30 years.
In the filing, Murdaugh's attorney said that Judge Gergel sentenced him to 40 years in prison, which is essentially a death sentence. The filing is asking the court to take the sentence back to the district court for resentencing based on the...
How many people, by a show of ones and twos, you remember the, what was his name? Bernie Madoff. Do you guys remember Bernie Madoff? Bernie Madoff. Oh, Michelle, this is a crazy case. This guy right here, his family's going down in the history books. His grandfather and father, their whole family were solicitors, basically the state prosecutors for almost 100 years in this area. He had a lot of pull in this area, and his crimes went unnoticed for a very long time. Do you know Bernie Madoff got, what was it, 160 years for his crimes? That is a death sentence. That man will never see the light of day again. And he's getting 40 years for his crimes. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's going to hold water. I don't think it's going to hold water. Now we're going to start getting into some more breaking news and more disturbing news for everybody. This is one that we heard about. This is a really sad case out of Ohio. This is a mom. She went to go pick up her son. She had just put him in the car, and she had cranked the car. She had gotten out of the car, and I think she had to go run in and grab something. And when she came back out, somebody was driving away with her child. And apparently she ended up getting hit by the car. So an Ohio mother was killed as she tried to stop two carjackers from stealing her car with her 6-year-old son inside. Her son saw that. I just can't express. Alexa Starkley, who was a speech pathologist for Canal Winchester, Ohio School District, suffered traumatic injuries after she was struck by a car. It was her car early morning, July 11th, on the Columbus Davis police say. Police say Starkly, a single mother, just had finished a shift at her second job as a waitress and was picking up her son from the babysitter's house. After she pulled her son into her SUV and started the vehicle, Starkly ran back in toward the homes to get something from the babysitter. As Starkly returned to the vehicle, it began backing out and she began running after it, according to police. The 29-year-old mother was struck by the SUV and thrown onto the pavement. The SUV was then driven through an apartment complex and abandoned with Starkey's son sleeping inside. The child was unharmed. The two male suspects were seen running past the scene, being sought by police. Starkey was pronounced dead later that morning. A child with only a mother. A child with only a mother. This is in Ohio. Alexa was passionate about children and speech language therapy, the Canal Chester School District said in a Facebook post. She was smart, compassionate, she cared so much about helping children develop their ability to communicate. She was a great mom who was incredibly dedicated to her son. Miss Starkey made a difference in the lives of the students and families she worked with, and will be missed by so many in our community and beyond. Starkey was known to her students as Miss Alexa, according to the Post, and worked with preschoolers in the district. That had to have been hard for the preschoolers. What a beautiful lady. And you can just see with her infectious smile that she was just a kind soul. This was absolutely senseless. And I can't even imagine. Thank God her son was sleeping and didn't actually witness that. So here's another story where I'm going to bounce through these so we can get to Sebastian Rogers and get some updates on Sebastian Rogers. What to know about case of Stephen Bryan. This is an Indiana boy that was found hidden 2 years after his disappearance. Right there, 2 years after his disappearance. A little more than 2 years ago, Stephen Bryant disappeared after he was last seen by his mother's boyfriend. Now, an unexpected turn of events he has been found safe. These are things I can guarantee you this would be a case that we would have thought he was unalived. Now expected turn of events, he's found safe and reunited with his father and other family members he hasn't seen in years. Stephen was rescued Tuesday, July 9th from Bloomington, Indiana home, where he was found alongside his mother, Deborah Bryan, and her boyfriend, Caleb Blevin, according to Moorville Police Department statement. Here's what we know. The summer of 2022. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want to instill hope, right? We have missing children all over this country right now, and we know that a lot of parents are hiding their children, parental abductions and other things. And we want to instill hope because sometimes I feel hope is gone in some of these cases. So in this case, on June 9th, 2022, at the age of 3, according to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, some news outlets report Stephen's date of disappearance differently, but which we find common, right? We got the same thing going on in the Sebastian Rogers case. Many different reports have different dates on it, either the 25th or the 26th. But the National center for Missing and Exploited Children lists Stephen as missing June 2022. He was last seen by his mother's boyfriend, Caleb Blevins, Indiana State Police said at the time. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children said Stephen was likely with his mother, Deborah. The child's father, Tyler Bryan, alleged that Deborah left with Stephen from her Moorville, Indiana home and severed all contact between the child and his father. What's going on when Stephen vanished? At the time of Stephen's disappearance, Tyler and Deborah were in the middle of a divorce. He told People in January. Deborah's uncle, Tommy Cash, says Deborah was trying to save her son when she allegedly took off. She truly was afraid for her child's safety and well-being and his life, Tom Cash told Fox 59. It wasn't immediately clear what kind of safety concerns the family had regards to Stephen. Moorville police did not respond to People's request for comment on Friday. There's the beautiful boy right there. an active and playful child with speech impediment. With Brian's whereabouts unknown for almost 2 years, his father told people in January that he didn't know if his child who had a speech impediment had gotten better. He was very active and playful, a lot of fun to be with, Tyler, 30, said at the time. July 2024, authorities find Stephen safe after 2 years. On Tuesday, July 9th, Indiana authorities found Stephen in a home with Deborah and Blevins. Mooreville Police Department said, according to MRTV. Mooreville Police Chief Carrie Buckner alleges Deborah was just hiding Stephen out while embroiled custody battle with the child's father. Stephen's mother is charged. After Stephen was found, Indiana authorities arrested Deborah on charges of interfering with custody, according to the Mooresville Police Department. Blevins, who was with Stephen and Deborah at the time of their rescue, may face charges if the investigation reveal he allegedly assists Deborah. He's the one that called him in missing. He absolutely was assisting in this situation, in my belief. But just another thought, he is home safe. He's back with his father, and the mystery of his disappearance has been solved. That's not really important. Let me go through this. Here's one. We have New York City police that are looking for this young girl right here. It's all hands on deck when it comes to her and her whereabouts. They are asking for the public's help. This is Kimora Morris. She's 15 years old, and she was last seen around 1 a.m. on Friday and is known to have ties with Syracuse area, police say. It appears that they believe that she has ran away and that she's not she's in immediate danger because they don't know her whereabouts. But it sounds like, and we did see this. One of our girls, the girl that was just killed under that bridge by the 2 Venezuelan illegals, she snuck out of her house too. So we have to realize when these kids run out, yes, to us, it's a simple runaway. But even I have to change my mind because we don't know what threats lie out there when these kids are on the streets. We hear about this all too often, but I just wanted to put her name up here and her face up here so everybody can see her and advocate for her, especially my New York, my New Jersey people. This is a child that is missing in your states. I'm going to say New Jersey and New York because they're so small and they're just together. So that's what I would like to say. Tarrant County Jail employee indicted on murder in Anthony Johnson's death, fired second time. I thought this was pretty interesting, and just wanted to read a little bit about two Tarrant County jailers indicted on murder charges in connection with Anthony Johnson Jr. in custody death have been fired for the second time. Rafael Marino Jr. and Joel Garcia were fired Tuesday, according to Tarrant County Sheriff's Office news release. The 2 men were previously fired by Sheriff Bill Wayburn in May, but reinstated and placed on administrative leave after because of civil service protocols weren't followed. The firing of the 2 men come days after they were indicted for Johnson's murder. So these are, when we put people inside a jail, it is our responsibility to make sure that all their needs are met and to make sure that they are protected. It sounds like Johnson died from asphyxiation in the Tarrant County Jail on April 21st after fighting with a detention officer during a contraband search. Hardly worth losing a life over. Again, lots of disturbing information inside of the cases that we have not covered in a while. Bushley, triple murder victim Hannah Hunt's boyfriend, pays tribute, love of my life, as suspect is arrested. Here are the people right here. Hannah Hunt is right here. Hard to even think. Hannah Hunt's boyfriend pays tribute to the love of my life as the man suspected of a crossbow murder. A BBC racing commentary's wife and 2 daughters have been arrested. The country is reeling after Carol Hunt, 61, the wife of BBC Live commentator John Hunt, and their 2 daughters, Hannah, 28, and Louise were found fatally injured in their home in Bushy on Tuesday evening. A major manhunt was underway for Kyle Clifford, 26, who was discovered by police in a cemetery. Obviously, this is overseas, but we are going to be getting into some overseas commentary. And there you have it. There is Kyle Clifton, the monster that took out this BBC reporter's family. Senseless and brutally murdered, arrest made in the stabbing death of a 13-year-old. A 13-year-old. We'll go past that. There's the 13-year-old girl. I just want to read just a few sentences of this because this is in my own backyard. A 28-year-old man is accused of fatally stabbing a 13-year-old girl who was recently found inside a utility closet of the Orange County apartment complex, according to the sheriff. I can't pronounce her last name, but her first name is Rose. She was 13 and she was found on July 4th. Obvious signs of trauma at a complex along South Rio Grande Avenue. Orange County Sheriff John Mina said the girl was senselessly and brutally murdered and found with clothes removed from the waist down. She had been stabbed and she was barely alive. Mina said during a news conference, unfortunately, she was transferred to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. And that is about all I'm willing to go through with this little girl, but please say prayers for her family. We have a cruel world out there. People are hunting our women and our children. I don't know what has gotten into people where they think that this is okay. They know it's wrong, otherwise they wouldn't be unaliving their victims. This child deserved her right to live, and she lost it. Monsters in this world. Now, this one's going to be a little bit difficult for you. There's the man right there. Let me just see if we can get that back up. Let's hear what they have to say. I wasn't going to watch it because it was taking so long to load, but now that it's here, let's listen.
Court documents dating back to the afternoon of April 25th, 2020, alleging 28-year-old Jerry Dorsme sexually assaulted a girl between the ages of 12 and 15. Near the same location, 13-year-old Rose DeJuice was killed.
He had been arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior on a child. That case was ultimately dropped to child abuse. I'm not sure what time or how much time he served, but he.
So we had an opportunity to get a monster. That even enrages me more. This is why we need to be smart when we're hiring our district attorneys. This right here, because our district attorneys, they don't want to fight. They want to settle in these court cases. So now we just found out that this man was arrested, and some stupid idiot in the state prosecutor's office decided to give this man a free pass for assaulting another child in such a degrading way. Oh, we got tougher laws now. You do this, you know, that's probably why the child was unalived, is because had she told somebody, he would have lost his life anyways. He's losing his life now. So I don't know. We've been talking a lot about, because we're talking about the Sebastian Rogers case, we've been talking a lot about parents and what they do to their children. And I've even brought up, I don't understand what's in our water. I don't know what's in our water here lately, right? Because we have parents unaliving children and children unaliving parents. And this next case is much like that. I'm sorry if you guys heard that stuff in the background. I can't hear it because I don't have my equipment in, but I did hear it running. So I wanted you guys to hear this. This is another one in my own backyard. That's not a comfortable feeling for me, but it's something that we need to pay attention to. It's happening all over this country at alarming numbers between parents and children.
Hello, Space Coast. Welcome to the news in 90 seconds. I'm Rob Landers, bringing you some of today's top stories. The body of a man who went missing over the weekend during a private airboat ride.
That's not what I want. Let's see if they talk about, I can't even tell if he talks about this or not. So I'm not even going to listen to that. We wanted to do this. So we'll do it this way. The Palm Bay teen remains in juvenile custody. I don't know if they'll show the juvenile, but what she did is she ended up unaliving her mom and her boyfriend, shooting them because it sounds like she had some mental health issues related to herself. A Palm Bay teen remains in juvenile custody after police say she shot, it's a female, she shot and unalived her mother and her mother's boyfriend Saturday night and then called 911 to fake a plea for help. 16-year-old was charged with first-degree premeditated murder after detectives examined forensic evidence, bullet casing, blood droplets, broken glass from a sliding glass door at the scene on Bencher Road residence. Kelly McCollum, 41, and McCollum's boyfriend, wow, she had a young boyfriend, Matthew, I can't pronounce his name, 22, were both found inside the home with multiple gunshot wounds, court records show. The girl, and see, I have a problem with, I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I have a problem with having young girls inside a home and having this big of an age difference with your boyfriend. Your boyfriend is closer to the age of your daughter than he is to you. That makes me feel very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I have a funny feeling we're probably going to find out that there's some extenuating circumstances related to this other than just the child's gender. The girl who Florida Today has not identified was brought to juvenile court judge and remanded into custody at Juvenile Detention Center in Sharps. Police say the motive centered around the child's, and this is a different one. I had one with the gender, another young girl this age, unalived her mom and her boyfriend over her gender. She was transitioning and her mom wasn't accepting her. So I grabbed the wrong article, but this is pretty similar. Police said the motive was centered around the teen's disdain for her mother dating a 22-year-old man. Detectives also determined the teen shot her mother to death first, then shot the boyfriend, stabbing him. Whew, this girl was angry. And then shooting him. The slaying came 3 months after the boyfriend was arrested by West Melbourne police for domestic battery involving the woman. The charges were later dropped and he was allowed to return to the family home. God knows what this man was doing to that girl. I'm sorry, but he doesn't seem like a good dude. He doesn't seem like a good dude. Sheriff said Jerome, 27, faces first-degree murder charges in the death of Rose. And Rose was the little girl, the 13-year-old girl that was unalived. We also have a Florida woman who was essayed two of her young sons. Family dog learns fate. It doesn't get more evil. There is a disgusting woman. Guys, it's not our men anymore. Whatever has infected our men are now infecting some of our women. We've seen this in some of the teachers. Now we're seeing this in mothers. Wow. A Florida woman was sentenced to 21 life terms in prison for committing SA against her two young sons and the family dog, and creating and selling videos of them on Snapchat. On June 19th, a jury found Natalie Jesslyn Wagner, 28, of Port St. Lucie, guilty of 84 counts of SA, including incest and transmitting child P across the internet. A mother doing this to her infant 1-year-old son and her toddler 3-year-old son. Enough said. Enough said. Just when you think gaming is safe, when gaming is safe, it is never safe here. What did I tell you one of the most disturbing things about games is that people live in fantasy worlds. Fantasy worlds. For all you gamers out there, be careful how much smack you talk while you're playing the game, because this New Jersey man had enough, and he flies all the way to Florida to attack his rival with a hammer. 20-year-old man named Edward Kang from New Jersey was arrested for allegedly flying to Florida to attack a fellow gamer with a hammer after an online dispute in a multiplayer role-playing game called Arc-Age. Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper reported that Kang faced attempted second-degree, thank God he didn't get away with it, after Sunday's assault on Ferdinand Beach, which left the victim with severe but not life-threatening head injuries. He actually carried out the attack, folks. The attack, an investigation revealed that King flew from Newark to Jacksonville, bought a hammer and a flashlight at a hardware store, and stayed at a nearby hotel. Kang, dressed in black with gloves and mask, allegedly entered the victim's unlocked home at 2 a.m. on Sunday before attacking him during a bathroom break from gaming. The victim's stepfather intervened after hearing screams. Kang later admitted to deputies he was motivated to unalive the victim because the victim was a bad person online. Now, many people don't think that this can happen, that people can be incited or enraged to attack, but they can. And many of you guys know about some of the things. Now, granted, it's not one person coming to me, but they are trying to incite their audience and letting their audience know my whereabouts when I'm out there trying to be, like my hotel. I don't tell people where I stay. And I should have a right to go and go live and not have to not worry about somebody trying to locate me and putting that on YouTube, because people are crazy out there. So every time these creators do something like that, they're putting my life in danger. And every time they do that to another creator, they're putting their life in danger. People on these internet streets, people that play these games, people that do these things, they can lose their stuff, get on a plane, and come unalive somebody. So I want you guys to know the dangers of what some of these content creators are playing on these platforms. This was related to a game, but we've heard many times when they were related to commentary online. Very, very important stuff. Very, very important stuff. I'm moving through these because some of these I'm going to be doing videos on, and I don't want to. Oh, this is another disturbing one. Y'all, you guys have to be careful out there. Homeless person allegedly abducts a 4-year-old at a California restaurant amid uptick of crime. California has an uptick of crime. Why? Because they have open borders. They have open borders. Sarah Rampwitt, breaking news for Fox News. I think they did. I don't even think they gave us a whole lot on this one. Let me see if there's a video that I passed. Give me just a second. See if there's another one, because this looks like it should have been a video. Maybe it was just a headline. Oh, it's because I don't join Fox. That's why. But that is a disturbing story. So let me go ahead and I'll do this. And we'll find it another way that will actually let me watch it. I don't know why these people actually think people will go to them and cannot find this stuff another way. I mean, there you go. Here we go. Homeless person allegedly abducts toddler from a Santa Monica restaurant. There's the person, homeless person that abducts the child. I bet you mental health is a factor in here. A toddler was safely found after they were allegedly abducted at a Santa Monica restaurant in broad daylight Friday. According to police, 4-year-old girl was kidnapped from a Panda Express restaurant on Pico and Lincoln Boulevard at 12:11 p.m. Police say the child's grandmother called 911 to report the kidnapping. More than 30 officers swarmed the area, gathering video evidence and attempting to locate the alleged kidnapper, who was later identified as Brianna Shields. I don't know why the Shields name sounds so familiar. Around 12:37, police located Shields and the child in a room at the Holiday Motel on 11th and Pico. Shields, who's believed to be homeless, was taken into custody. Santa Monica police say she's been living at the motel for an extended period of time. The child was unharmed. Our heartfelt best wishes out to the child and her family. They deal with the shock of this ordeal. We will do everything we can to make sure they are helped through this time. We don't know what happened to this child. Residents in Santa Monica had recently seen a spike in crime involving unhoused residents. Well, they let them run wild out there on their streets, right? What do they expect? What do they expect? All right, getting on. We have a lot of other things I'll be making videos about, especially the Bryan Kohberger murder narrative is weird, and it's related to Harvey Levin. So let me just put this up here. Actually, I'll just read this article real quick to you, and then we'll move on. Let me put my face back up on here, and then we'll get on to Sebastian Rogers. TMZ executive producer Harvey Levin, or Levin, rather, I know who he is because I sold him a piece of my dog, the bounty hunter, says he's skeptical when it comes, good gracious, with all these darn advertisements, skeptical when it comes to evidence against Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of killing 4 college students in Idaho. Levin joins News Nation Ashley Banfield on Thursday night to discuss a new series, Strange and Suspicious, which explores the unexplained stories, including the University of Idaho murder case. Levin clarifies he's not doubting evidence in the case, but he's also not convinced by the prosecutor's theory. I'm not saying Kohberger didn't do it, Levin said on Banfield. I'm saying the circumstances are boldly weird here. Kohberger faces 4 murder charges in connection with the November 2022 stabbing deaths of Ethan Chapin, Xander Knodel, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez in their off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho. Authorities in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, arrested Kohberger, then a student at Washington State University, on December 30th, 2022. Levin wants to know why Kohberger didn't think about the screams from the victim, being a former graduate student of Washington State University Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology. Unless he planned on taking everybody out of the house, nobody's going to ID this guy. It's game over. Circumstances are boldly weird here, Levin said. Unless he felt like he could take out 6 people, there were huge risks. I don't buy the party house theory. I don't buy the party house theory either. Yeah, they had some parties, but that was not the house. These girls are making great grades. Kaylee Gonzalez graduated early, you know? Yes, did they live the university life? Yes, they did. They indulged in it here and there, but calling this house a party house? They had cops there for loud music. I get it. But a party, I know party houses. And party houses, they're party houses. They're party houses morning, noon, and night, right? Everybody knows to go there. I don't know that. The trial is expected to start next June. If convicted, Kohberger, who entered a not guilty plea, could face the death penalty. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I can tell you that I truly believe if they can prove 75 to 80% of what's in their probable cause affidavit, they have Bryan Kohberger dead to rights. I've said that and maintained that since the day I read that probable cause affidavit. When I read that probable cause affidavit, you should go watch it. My mouth fell open. I'm like, I've never seen a more thorough probable cause affidavit in my life like this, in my life. All right, so there's all of our breaking news. We haven't talked about breaking news in a while. We haven't talked about other cases in a while. We haven't done really any work but trying to, understand what was going on in Sebastian Rogers' case. And so a lot of the cases that we had previously been covering had kind of gone by the wayside. So I wanted to take some time and get you guys all brought up to snuff in this case. I know there's some additional information that's going on in Madeline Soto's case. And also, we don't want to forget Michael Monkey Vaughn. Michael Monkey Vaughn is a case that I've been diligently watching, and I've been diligently praying and praying and praying and praying and praying that we will have some arrests coming soon in that case. This case was turned over to the state prosecutor's office for the second time. And we heard good, news that they believe they got everything that the state prosecutor needed to bring charges forward. It is unfortunate because right now it's been over 4 months since that article came out, when it came out on March 1st, 2024. And we have not yet seen this arrest or any movement from the state prosecutor. So we need to say some prayers for the Vaughn family. We need to say some prayers for the prosecutor to give him the everything he needs to bring this case and finally seek justice for Michael Monkey Vaughn. They did determine a while back, when we were all very hopeful that he was here, they did determine he is not. They found credible evidence that he's gone. So at this point, I'm sure his mother she fought so hard. She literally fought so very hard. And to have the outcome, I can't imagine what she's going through or the grief she's going through. And then the added grief of not having the prosecution go forward. So I just think at this point, we need to be praying for all of our victims, but we need to be saying some extra prayers for some of these cases that are kind of right on the edge, that just need to be just pushed over just a little bit further, where we can seek justice. And this is justice that has been a long time coming. You got to remember, he disappeared about 45 days after Summer Wells. His case has been unsolved all this time. Having an arrest in a case this old is going to give us hope that our other cases that have gone cold will, be prosecuted at some point as well. This is the case. If we can just get, Michael Monkey Vaughn's case prosecuted, people arrested, I really feel like this will give us some wind in our sails for some of the other cases that we've been following and monitoring that haven't really gone anywhere, right? Because we didn't think Michael Monkey Vaughn was going to go anywhere. And people started, once the news started dying down, they started attacking Brandy and Tyler. I mean, we had some jerk off in here yesterday saying Tyler was responsible. Give me a freaking break. It's horrible. These trolls on here, you know what? It should be a crime to do some of the stuff that they're doing, because it's intentional infliction of emotional distress on a family that does not need it. And I just wish it would stop. There's nothing funny in it. I don't know how people, but they're miserable people. People that want to hurt other people and they get a rise out of it, or they think it's funny to hurt somebody. Those are some of the worst people that I could ever imagine. Like, I don't wish anything good to them. I wish that everything, I'm an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth person. I wish everything that they give to somebody that they get back tenfold. I really do. And they probably are. That's probably why they do what they do, because their life sucks. And they want to make other people's lives suck so they can feel good about their shitty life. I want to take some time before we get into Sebastian Rogers and thank Debbie W. for gifting 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. Only M for donating 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. Lisa became part of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. D's Mysteries. Best coffee time ever. All. Thank you guys so much. Michelle gifting 1 Bullhorn Betty membership. I hit the wrong button. 1 Bullhorn Betty membership. And we have a new member as well. So all the people that became members today, welcome to the family. We are a crazy bunch, and you're part of a crazy family. If you weren't crazy, why we call it crazy is because crazy now seems normal, right? So that's why we call ourselves crazy, because crazy's normal and normal's crazy. So that is the reality of our new world out here, right? The normal people are the crazy ones. We got some screws loose up here because we think people need to know their role. We don't care about the entitled person and what they think that they should be entitled to. If you didn't earn it, you ain't entitled to it. Boo-boo. Everybody hates me saying boo-boo, but this is the reason why I say boo-boo so much. Because when we're here, I call her boo-boo. I'm like, hey, boo-boo. Hey, boo-boo. I need a boo-boo. Let's do a Gene Simmons. Do a Gene Simmons. I know you got it in you. I know you got it in you. Oh, the Gene. There it is. The Gene Simmons. That tongue. I can't. Every time she yawns, I swear to God, I crack up because that tongue just rolls out. I'm starting to cry. It's so hilarious to me. I don't know why. When I laugh hard, my eyes start watering. They just start putting out tears. Gene Simmons is in it. I don't even know how to tongue up there. I tried a Gene Simmons. I can't Gene Simmons. She's got the Gene Simmons down pat. She's got the Gene Simmons down pat. We just can't put the red stuff in her mouth. I don't want to do that. It'd be messy. But she got that tongue. She got a long ass tongue too. Oh, good gracious. I'm sorry. It's funny. It cracks me up. She cracks. My eyes are literally watering. I wish I could show you guys. Like my eyes water when I laugh this hard. Like they water. So, but she cracks me up all day long. She's absolutely a joy, and she loves me. So when I'm not, she wants me to either play with her or hold her. So she's on the side of me right now, but as soon as I get up, she's going to want to get up, right? As soon as I go in the kitchen, she's going to want to go into the living room, and she's going to come over to the kitchen and start yanking on me to go in the living room to play with her. So this morning I took a paper ball and rolled it up for her. Seems like she had fun with that. Well, she's just so cute, and she's still just a puppy, so she's still in the very curious stage, like she's going around and she's sniffing everything. And so like I started worrying because she starts eating when she's out there in the front yard, she'll eat the grass or the weeds. And I'm like, is this safe? And, of course, Glenn's like, what do you think salads are made of, I'm like, okay, true that, right? We got marigold flower now. Who would have ever known that they were going to turn weeds into flowers? I mean, are we getting to that point here in America that we got to start eating weeds? Are we really that hungry? I'm sorry. I should stop. Okay, so we have some updates on Sebastian Rogers. They're not major news, breaking news updates on Sebastian Rogers by any stretch of the imagination. But we know, because I've been talking about it, Cathy Bowersox has kind of been playing the role of Chris Proudfoot here recently, right? She's feeling pressured and she wants to be crystal clear and clear her name and self-preservation. What it is telling me is telling me that cops must have rattled her tree. I think she's been questioned. There's a reason why all of a sudden she's now coming out and speaking, in my opinion, right? She's had all this time, and we've been talking about Alaska for, ever since she left 2 weeks after or a few days after Sebastian disappeared. And then she went to Alaska and then to Puerto Rico. It's just really weird. While a child's missing, she leaves. Chris disappears for 17 hours. They all come back, and then Chris and Katie run off to Mississippi. It's really weird. The information that we do know is, let me find it, is with Seth and Tony and their team of searchers that they've personally vetted. I don't know who they are. I know that they were personally vetted. But here is the news. I want to read this to you because I really thought it was a great news article about what they were doing. You guys know that I have maintained that Seth truly does believe that his son is alive. Oops, I can't do that. Hold on. What is this? He's alive. Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to pull it up on this one because I've already shut my other. He's alive, Sebastian. Okay, there it is. Because I just realized it did have a video, and I did want you guys to see the video. So give me just a second while I pop that up for you guys to watch. And then we'll read the article. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. We'll accept the cookies. Thank you for giving me the option. Not. Okay, so here's what we have. And I don't know why this one, is this the same one? KRT? Yes, it is. Well, it doesn't give me the video on this one, so I guess we're going to have to watch the video on this side. Okay.
And I'm Haley Bogus. Sebastian's father told News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry they're operating this like a recovery effort, even though he believes
Okay, there we go.
Sebastian is still alive.
Memorial Park was one of the first places Seth Rogers tells me he searched for his son, Sebastian. He says this place is Sebastian's favorite. Almost 2 months ago, this bridge was lit up in Sebastian's favorite color, green, in hopes of his safe return home. At that time, he had been missing for 2 months. Today, the search continues, almost 5 months later.
People think that we're not searching anymore. They can think whatever they want. Our searches are private.
Seth tells me after a herniated disc surgery, it is back to boots on the ground. He says today, over 40 searchers, vetted by his private investigator, will be eliminating locations Sebastian could.
Okay, so we see them in the water. We see their sonar equipment in the water. And we got one dumbass on here on the streets of YouTube saying, oh, it's a PR stunt. Well, this is the longest PR stunt I have seen because they've been in the water for 3 days for a PR stunt, you know? This is a recovery mission that Seth does not want to be a part of. I can tell you that. He's doing this because he wants to know. And so he doesn't want to stop searching for his son. I can tell you every time I talk to him, he keeps talking about his son and about how he needs his son to come home. He always is always telling me that he does not believe his son is gone. He doesn't feel his son is gone. He feels that Katie and Chris put his son somewhere. I respectfully disagree. But either way you have it, this man is fighting for his son. He does not want to be out there, and he's praying to God he doesn't find a darn thing. So, you know, this is a big step for Seth to even put a boat in the water, let alone be trying to look in waterways for his son. Okay, you guys don't understand how heartbreaking this has to be for this man, because my conversations, he was not entertaining it. He was not entertaining it. And when I talked to him on the phone, and it was when we were I was trying to help him set up the live that Saturday, you know, and I don't want to violate his trust or anything, but, you know, it's been 5 months. He needs answers. He needs answers. He wants his son back. This is his only son. He told me, I need my son to come home. That's no BS. That's the man's holding himself together and telling me he needs his son to come home. And you got an idiot here on the streets of YouTube that doesn't give a crap about parents, right? He has his own parents thrown in jail. Yes, he has. His parents didn't get out of jail until 2003 for his nonsense. He doesn't care about his own damn parents. He doesn't know what love for a parent or child even means. And he's the one running interference in this case and constantly talking bad about Seth, a father fighting for his own son. He didn't sue his parents. He had him thrown in jail.
Now I don't really have much stopping me from getting out there and doing what I need to do.
There's a refocus. We're trying to zero in on more specific information that we are gathering.
Seth tells me his search parties have become invite only due to chaos at previous searches.
They're private because we learned last time. You know, we had people following my searchers around that were just handing out flyers. And it doesn't bode well for people who are trying to help to be put into hostile situations.
But he says the goal today is not to find Sebastian.
The search that we're doing today is a recovery effort. And I'm praying that we don't find him.
Seth says he believes his son is alive, but he added, some people still don't know Sebastian is missing.
We have to continue to hand out flyers until everybody knows.
Seth and Tony tell me they have one unanswered question for the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
We think it's a valid question. We think it's a fair question. And that question is, are you any closer today to finding Sebastian Rogers than you were February 26th?
And for Seth, the answer to that question is no.
My son's not here, so we're nowhere closer.
If you have seen Sebastian.
I'm sorry. In my opinion, this should be Chris, Katie, and Seth. Chris, Katie, and Seth. Why is Seth responsible for doing all of this? With no help from the boy's mother or his stepfather, where he disappeared from. And we got a jack off on here throwing shade on a father's search. Like a butthurt little you-know-what. That didn't care about using his own parents for pawns. I'm getting sick and tired of this one content creator constantly coming into a case he's not welcome in, that he's totally effed up. He's caused law enforcement to stop what they're doing, and yet here we go again. Stay the hell out of this case. Every time you come into this case, I'm going to drop a little bit more information about your disturbing behavior. Watch me work, Mr. Riches. Watch me work. Your parents, Donna and Tim, and what you did to them, shame on you. Mr. Riches, shame on you. Every time you say something about this case moving forward, I'm going to drop just a little more disturbing information about you, Mr. Three-time felon. Watch me work, sir. I'm over it. I'm over it. Seth is out there working his tail end off to try to find his son. I'm not going to deal with any more shenanigans on these streets. I am going to raise money for this man. I am going to help and assist him in finding his son. And if anybody has a problem with it, it's your problem to have, not mine. Okay? This family needs help. We're the Bullhorn Betty channel. We help families. We talk about bad guys and we advocate for victims. That's what we do. We don't throw shade on innocent parents that had nothing to do with the disappearance of our child, of their child. When they're actively doing everything they can to find them. You know what we do? Whether we like them or not, we support them. Because why? It's a child. You want to do this stuff to an adult family? Fine. Not that it's any better. But to do it at the sake of a 15-year-old medically needy boy is disgusting. So, Mr. Riches, every time you cover this case with if you want to cover it properly, I'm all good. You want to keep putting shade on Seth? I'm going to keep putting shade on you because I know you very well, don't I, Mr. Riches? Parents released in 2003 because of his shenanigans. Mags, I bet you never met his parents, have you? Have you ever asked why? Just saying. Just saying, little girl. Anyways, getting back to Sebastian. Sebastian is being searched for. You know who's searching for him? Seth and his team. You know who's not searching for him? Law enforcement? Katie? Chris? Katie and Chris's extended family? The Bowersox? Oh, the Bowersox are searching. They're searching for people like me, but they ain't searching for a lost boy that they used to call family. Seth and Katie are Sebastian's. Oh, this just ran up on me. Sorry, hold on a second. I'm going to try to find your statement. There it is. Seth and Katie are Sebastian's parents. Chris is not. He shouldn't be involved in my opinion. Well, you know, if he was a loving step parent, you know, there's a lot of loving step parents in my chat right now that would literally go to the mattress for their stepchildren. You know, I may yell at my stepdaughter, let somebody else yell at my stepdaughter. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in all fairness, there are good step parents out there. And when you have a missing child, it's all hands on deck. The problem is there's no all hands on deck here. It's only Seth's. And Seth had to create all of this out of nothing. It's not like he was given a book and said, here, this is what you need to do when you miss a child. Right? This is not something any of us really know about. How, you know, I do the best I can with what I know here when I advise people. I tell them to, you know, if you guys notice, when I worked with Layla Santinello, or on Layla Santinello's case, when I worked with Jen, you guys recall, she never came on my channel. She was never interviewed on this channel. We went out there and interviewed her personally and created videos. You guys never saw me prance her up here on this channel or do anything like that, like these other creators do. You guys have never seen me do that. You know why? Because I tell them, if you can, have somebody else do social media. Don't engage in it. Don't read it. Don't read the comments. Don't do anything. Have a person, a point person that does that for you and only sends you relevant information. I do that because I want to keep their mental capacities where they need to be, because as the longer it goes, the more strength they need to have. And I'm here to help, not hinder, not hurt. There is a reason why I protected her so viciously. It's because of all of this nonsense that goes on when you could become the public eye. Had I been the one that got to Seth first, none of this would be going on. None of it. I can guarantee that. I would put a kibosh in it in a heartbeat. They had all they could do whenever we were with Jennifer Santinello covering Layla's case is talk crap about me. And they still reached out to this mother consistently, arguing with her because I was talking about her daughter's case. So much so she had to shut them down and block them. But you know what I did? I protected her the best I could. And I fought for her every chance I got. So I don't want to hear people saying that we exploit families. No, we go after bad guys. I have a history of going after bad guys on this channel, whether they like it or not. That's my history. I don't go after innocent people. Never have, never will. And the innocent people, I try to insulate. And I put my channel in front of them and all the bullshit. And I take the hits, every single one of them. And I do it for the families. But you know what? Jennifer had to deal with a lot, but she would have had to deal with more if it wasn't for this channel and us being able to fight for her with SF, with all of them. You know, Brittany stealing from freaking Dollar General, Brittany using Nova Grace for Christmas gifts, for Hollister gift cards that a baby can't get you know, clothes from. The fact that George, I heard George was filing complaint. I got some stuff from New Jersey, you know, from our public records request that George was seeking to see Nova Grace. Never did. Never did. had an opportunity to go see his grandchild and wouldn't go there because his mother would not accept Brittany. So he chose not to even see Nova Grace. What a great guy, right? It seems like the clan of misfits ran by SF himself. What great people. What great people. I don't even want to hear people coming and saying, oh my God, you're mean. I don't even give a crap. That man couldn't even go see his grandchild. He's shit. He's shit. He ain't guilty, but he's shit. Just saying. What kind of person does that? You know, leave the woman at home. Brent says I had to. Aw. What did you do? Oh, I got a great group of people here. I gotta be honest with you. You guys crack me up. I know I crack you up, but you guys crack me up sometimes too. BHB, this is what Katie and Chris wanted. They wanted Sebastian gone, and now he's gone. Seth is the only one that truly he is. He is. And now you understand my fury and frustration with people dogging this man. Right? But I just want to make sure that my message is very clear every time a certain creator picks up this case and wants to throw shade on Seth. I'm throwing shade right back to him with some straight up facts that he can't run away from, but he's been keeping under a rug. Those skeletons in his closet are sure going to rear their ugly head if he keeps going down this path. I don't want to do it. Everybody knows I don't really care for it, but I will fight for victims. Seth is a victim. And when I fight for victims, I fight for them. I fight for them hard. There is nobody that fights for these victims harder than me. Even before this, you can go and listen to Dolly. Dolly said the same thing before he hated me, right? He said the same thing. There's nobody that's going to work harder for these cases than Bullhorn Betty. He said it out of his own mouth. I'm sure he probably changed, now that he doesn't like me, I'm sure he probably says, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's an idiot. Funny how their opinions change depending on how they feel about you, huh? That's integrity. It's either it is or it isn't. It's not how how you feel about me that day. Yes, he is, BHB. He's definitely a victim. Aw, Ren, thank you. God bless you. 5 more Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you've received them, please tell the people thank you. And the reason why I think they're doing this is they know that we've got a lot of BS on this channel. As you know, I've just changed. Oh, Grace upon Grace. Oh my gosh. I would want you on the case if I were in the situation. Amen. Amen. But I don't get sucked into the BS. If I got sucked into the BS, I'd be on these hate channels, right? Rooting for the bad guys, right? But that's just not my cup of tea. Okay. I don't ask for perfect parents. You know what I ask for them? I ask from them, do they love their child and are they willing to work hard to find their child? And if that answer is yes, I'm willing to work with them. Okay. I don't ask them, well, can you give me your background check and fill out this form for me to go check you out first? No. Why? Because most upstanding citizens, there are a few, but most upstanding citizens don't lose their children. Okay. So usually you have to deal with working with people that have abused people, that have substance abuse problems, that have come from a whole line of stuff. I'm not even saying that that's Seth. That's the monster that they painted him to be. He's not even like that. He got disgruntled at a therapist or whatever, or a teacher that was teaching his son and not giving the proper therapy to his son. He got upset that they want to keep putting a pill down his mouth instead of them using other more natural therapies for his son. Okay? Everything he fought for that was put in those court documents, in my opinion, was him fighting and advocating for his son and for the betterment of his son, not the deterioration of his son. Is he bold? Is he loud? Have you heard me when I'm pissed? Has anybody heard me when I'm pissed? I don't know if you guys have heard me when I'm pissed. I'm pretty freaking loud. Okay? People hear me. And trust me, I will get loud in a heartbeat. I will embarrass the people that are with me if the situation calls for it. If you don't believe me, ask Olivia. Okay? I got into a dispute with a rental car, a company, And the whole damn area knew it. Olivia pulls her bag outside, said, I'll wait for you outside. I'll see you soon. Okay, Olivia, you go on out there. I'll see you soon, honey. Let me take care of this. Okay? And it doesn't help because I talk loud anyways because I'm deaf. I can hear out of, no, I'm deaf in this ear. I can hear out of this one. I got full hearing out of this one, just not this one. So if you're on this side of me and you want to talk crap, you good. I can't hear shit. But you get on this side and start talking crap about me, ooh, you better watch it. I don't get loud. I break down. I when I get so frustrated, I'll break down and cry, but I don't cry in public. That's my crying. When I'm to the point that I'm crying, my coping mechanism is to yell. It keeps me from crying. I used to, my family is loud, doesn't bother me. Yeah. But they're talking about him screaming. Okay. When he starts picking up a chair and wielding it across the freaking room and almost hitting his kid, then we'll worry about it. But so far I haven't heard any violence. I've heard yelling. I haven't heard anybody getting their lights punched out or anything. I've heard that it was a loud yelling argument. That's your position on why he's a horrible father? Because he raised his voice in an agitated manner? Lord have mercy. Can you imagine if we were all considered bad parents for losing our cool and raising our voice? I would be buried under the jail if that was the case. You don't want to even know what goes on behind these cameras. Let me lose my vape. Let me lose my vape. I'm surprised the stuff that comes out of my mouth. I cuss a lot when I lose my vape. Our divorce rate would be much lower. What did BA say? Hold on, let me find you. It popped up on me right when I was reading it. I lost you. Crap, I lost you. Hold on, let me keep going. It's got to be here somewhere. Now I must have missed it. Did you go up further? Good gracious, how am I missing all of these? Oh, because I don't pay attention. Why are the police so quiet? I hope they're waiting for, I don't know. I've never heard police this quiet in a case this much, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll get them talking. They're not going to like how I'm going to get them talking, but we're going to get them talking. I'm not doing it on this next trip, but I'm telling you, if we don't hear squat from this sheriff, I'm going to call them up and let them know I'm doing a protest in front of their sheriff station. And not just a protest there, we're going to the state attorney's office. But I'd like to have a sit down with them first, but, just to find out, because I don't want to, rock the boat if there's really some movement on this. I don't need them to say much, but, I can guarantee you when they find out there's going to be a few hundred people on their front doorstep, it's kind of funny how you get just a little bit of information to calm it down. So, we'll see where that's going to go. I'm not ready to pull that trigger yet, but you guys know it's only a matter of time before it's coming. So it's a last ditch effort. I try to do everything diplomatically until it gets to that point. We have problems in this case, and I just want some resolution to those problems. Some of the resolutions to those problems is, if they haven't gotten forensics, are they going to be getting forensics? Because if they tell me no, I'm walking straight out of that sheriff's office. There's no need to have any more further conversation with them. None. Absolutely none. So, right now I'm dealing with Seth. At some point, I will be turning my attention on law enforcement and the state attorney. That will be forthcoming. I don't do anything behind the scenes, or undercover like many people always said. I'm Bullhorn Betty. When I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you. I don't sit here and lie to law enforcement or state's attorneys or anything like that. I'm going to let them know. I'm going to have to let them know because I want to make sure that they're safe, and I want to make sure that we as the public are safe as well. So in order to do that, they're not going to stop you from doing it. So you just have to inform them, and make sure that they know we're not, crazy people that's going to burn their city down. They ask these days, But we have a way of keeping our people are chill. They're there for the right reasons. We walk around with stuff. I scream in a freaking bullhorn, telling them about themselves, telling them everything we know and why they ain't doing this, why they ain't doing that. It's normal. It's in the policing world. It's normal, customary, stuff. In the world on YouTube, they act like it's breaking news and how dare I and how it's the most horrible thing. Like law enforcement's used to this shit by now. Okay, let's be honest. The only people that make it a big deal are the ones that need to make money off it being a big deal. Just saying. Seth is a mouse compared to me advocating for special needs. Yeah, I mean, exactly, Alicia. I mean, people, even his outburst, telling that Yahoo to go F off, he had every right to. Nobody knew what was going on behind the scenes. And I can tell you, everybody on their team was lying to everybody out here on these streets. Lying to their face about what truly transpired. And quite frankly, I told Trevor Lee he was going to lose his reputation. His reputation is done. And guess what? His reputation is done in Tennessee. Like no missing parents in Tennessee, even whenever he was trying to reach out to a couple other parents, they don't want his help. He's drama. He's drama. And you know what? He did it to himself. I told him, I warned him. I said, stay away from those people. They will ruin you. They will ruin you. One tried to ruin me. And anybody associated with that man, they are either too stupid, still, if they can't see the forest for the trees, probably too stupid to work with anyways. Okay? I have no respect for internet PIs. I really don't, because no internet PI has had the muster that's needed out here on these streets. Ethics, like keeping your mouth shut, working for your client. I will support any internet PI that knows how to do that. But these yahoos on these streets don't know. Maybe we need to hire our own internet PIs. Maybe I need to fund some internet PIs that I trust to advocate for these families. Maybe that's what we need to do. Anybody got some suggestions? Who needs to go to PI school? Let me send you to PI school. Because we need good ones. We want to make sure that people understand that there are such things as internet PIs that are actually private, not public PIs that totally violate their ethical obligations just by the fact that they are on these platforms and providing their clients information to a public, to a third party. That is a violation, in my opinion, but that's probably why they don't have people sign contracts. You notice that these internet PIs never follow the proper protocols and rules of being a PI. Do you know that for them to work on a case, they should and be required to have a contract with these people? I guarantee nobody's signing contracts. I guarantee it. So you're giving these PIs the ability to come into your life with no contract. And when they turn on you, you've got no recourse because you didn't sign a contract. If you're going to use internet PIs or any PI, well, legit PIs, they put a contract right in front of you. They want you, make sure that if you don't pay your bill, they're suing you. So when you deal with a legit PI, that contract goes right in front of your face. You sign or they don't work. That's how it works. These internet PIs do not follow normal PI procedures. That's why I know they're all yahoos. I've worked with professional PIs. I've worked with some of the best of the best. And I can tell you these jokes on these streets of YouTube, everybody's like, oh, they're so professional and nice. Have you lost your damn mind? Data mining is not PI. PI work is a lot more than that. These yahoos are idiots. I'm sorry, they are. I offend people. Oh, well, get over it. My oldest self comes out if you corner me. Yeah! Corner me. And boy, it's loud and crazy. Well, you know what? At least it's not back in my 20s. In my 20s, I would pick up something and chuck it your way. I won't lie, right? I won't lie. Back in my 20s, I'd pick something up and chuck it your way. I wouldn't hit you, but I would. At least now I just yell. Just saying. Just saying. At least I'm being honest. I remember I was like 18 or 19 years old, and I can't remember what my ex-boyfriend, he wasn't my ex then. It was my boyfriend. It was my first apartment that I had. And I remember he got me so mad, and I had all these incense burners. But these incense burners were like very expensive. Like they were gargoyles, they were mystical things. You lit them, and like smoke would come out of their eyes and their ears and all of this stuff. And I'd have these things. These were my babies. I collected them. And I remember he got me so angry that I literally cleared a shelf. And I remember I think that was when I got done throwing stuff. And I remember after it was all said and done, I had to clean it up. I remember when it was all said and done, I cried because I knew that I would never be able to replace them. And I absolutely, like, I had huge gargoyles like this. Like my cones were about this big. It was, those weren't the ones I had the smaller figurine ones up. But then I got really religious, and I started looking at gargoyles and, skulls and stuff like that. It just really wasn't my thing. So the rest of the ones that I had, I ended up giving away. But I had there was time, there was a time. There was a time. I'm a much better person today than I was yesterday. That's all I can say, wild child. And I have to think that 8 years ago, Seth was probably a different person than he is today, right? Because I can tell you 8 years ago, I'm much different than I was 8 years ago. Me and my ex-husband were, I think, starting business, doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't even remember what we were doing. But you live and learn, and you have experiences, and those experiences start changing you. When you start having grandchildren, you don't cuss as much. I still cuss. I say I cuss like a sailor. I really don't cuss near as bad as I used to when I was in my teenage years. And it's because I had grandchildren, right? And when you hear your grandchildren say, "Oh shit," you're like, "Oh shit." Maybe I should quit saying that, right? So you learn to put a plug in it really quick, because you don't want, the children going off to school and you getting a call from the teacher and having to explain that grandma is the one that said a bad word. So you have to teach them adult language and child language, and then you got to start talking child language and remembering to do. Like I said, I don't do grandparent. I didn't do it perfectly. Okay, I didn't do it perfectly. I'm just glad the F word didn't fall out of their mouth. I'm just saying. It was a flip of the coin which word they were going to use. I'm just saying. Thank goodness it started with an S and ended with a T. Okay, it could have started with an F and ended with a K. But you live and learn, right? You live and learn. And you learn not to do anything. You learn not to do anything, say anything. You learn to start watching your language around your grandkids. Just like over time, you just learn how to deal with life, right? And so I really think it's important that we would apply our own upbringings, right? That we apply our own upbringings to this case, because it's so easy to let somebody cloud us or make us look at somebody like a monster when they're really just a victimized father. All right. That's been backed into a corner. So we have to remember that, guys, and I hope everybody does, because Seth does need all of our support out here. He needs the continued support and love of this community, and we still need to help him, period. Whether we like him or not, he's missing a son, and he's the only one out there looking. We have to help this man. And for the nonsense, definitely never has anything right on her channel, that decides to say that she thinks I'm Crime Time. Honey, Crime Time doesn't even like me, okay? I've got emails from Crime Time chewing me out, calling me every name in the book. I've had to block Crime Time in my own email. And I just want to tell you, maybe you should take the corn rolls out of your hair or go wash your hair or something like that. I don't know. but I don't know why you're trying to put me all up in your channel, you know? But you don't want to be talking about me if we know you don't come with the facts. We've learned that. Like, I've debunked half the crap coming off of your channel. That's why nobody watches you anymore. You know, I'm just saying. So if you're going to accuse me of having a channel, I've only got 6 channels. I got 3 on TikTok. I got 3 on YouTube. Very easy. They're all branded Bullhorn Betty. We got Bullhorn Betty for President, Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories, and Bullhorn Betty. On TikTok, we've got BHB for President, Bullhorn Betty, and Bullhorn Betty 2.0. Okay? I'm not creating a channel without branding it Bullhorn Betty. Why? Because it's my brand. Just saying. If I'm going to make stuff up or I'm going to go out there, I will create a channel that's called Bullhorn Betty Rumors. Okay? Get it? So if I really want to, talk crap about people, I'll just create a whole entire new channel to talk crap about people. I don't need to make a crime time or whatever. I don't even know what crime time is, to be honest with you. But I heard somebody said this creator's thinking it's me because it sounds like me or whatever. Get the earwax out of your ear, or maybe the penis is out of your ear. I don't know. You cheat on every husband you have. So, I don't know. I don't know. Either way, I'm kind of over it. Please don't, if you don't want your business out there, because I got everybody's business, if you don't want your business out there, leave me alone. It's pretty simple. I am a web sleuth. I get it. Trust me, I find a bunch of stuff you guys don't even know about, okay? I keep it to myself, all right? So if you guys want to keep coming after me, we can keep coming after me, and I'll just throw your dirt right out there. Because, just leave me alone. It's pretty simple. And for all the a-holes like this, her and her boyfriend that she doesn't really have because she's got a husband, she can take that stuff somewhere else. She can take that stuff somewhere else. But honey, you really don't want to talk to me with the information I've got about you. Especially when you're lying to your husband. So do what you will, boo-boo. Just saying. All right, guys. I think that's about it I have for everything. It sounds like they're out there on the waters. They're searching, and a lot of people are tearing apart where he says he doesn't want to find his son. You're right. He doesn't, because he's on a recovery mission. That means for him to find his son where he's searching, his son would have to be deceased. That's why he does not want to find his son. And I'm sorry that I have to keep coming out here and clarifying all this. I don't want to be in the drama, but everybody keeps saying all this nonsense that doesn't make any damn sense. And we got idiots on YouTube that actually believe these creators' nonsense. So the only way I can come out here and correct it is call these creators' nonsense out and address it. It's awfully funny. We got investigative journalists that don't know how to be investigative journalists, and we've got their talking head friends making up crap about Bullhorn Betty and some damn crime time, whatever. I don't even know what channel it is. It's definitely not somebody I'd sub up to. And the only time I've ever heard crime time is a lady that chews me out every chance she gets in my email, to the point I blocked her. So there is that. Jay, you have my number. You could call me and get the information before you look like a complete asshole. Just saying. Thank you, Ren. Let's go through the sponsors of this channel this morning. God bless all of you. We got Debbie W. Thank you. We've got Only M. Thank you. Lisa's the newest member. We have D's Mysterious. Mysteries. Good Lord. I can't read today, y'all. Obsessed. There we go. D's Mystery Obsessed. I don't know why that was such a tongue tire for me, but it was. Michelle, thank you, my love. Oops, I didn't hit it. We got Lime Lit Girl. Love that. Aw, Nani. Almost 2-year-old coffee bean. Nani. We love Nani. Thank you, Nani. Thank you. And Ren's just been hitting it out of the park. Sorry, I had to. 5 gifted membership. $9. Do you have an Amazon wish list? Yes, but I haven't put any pup stuff on there. I haven't been on there in literally over a year and a half. So I probably got to go through there and clean that list up anyways. And then we got an additional 5. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate this. I really do appreciate you making a few members. But it may come to the point where, and I'm glad people did do that, because if we get too much shenanigans in our chat, because I'm not dealing with the drama. And if we start getting, crap people in the chat, I'm just going to turn it to members only. So right now I've got it set for a week. I'm trying to keep all the drama out of here, because at the end of the day, I don't want it. Everybody says I keep creating. I don't create it. I address it. There's a big difference. It's created elsewhere. It's addressed here. It's put out here. But I just want everybody to let Mr. Riches know, every time he touches this case, I'm going to drop another bombshell about his past. Every single time. Every single time, we're going to be dropping a little nugget that people didn't know about Mr. Riches. And they're disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So he can either have his reputation or he can leave the case. Or not have a reputation or leave the case. I don't care. The man's a monster. And he's trying to make this father look like the monster that he is. So I'm tired of it. Anyways, guys, you all take care. I love you all. God bless you. I hope you rock it. Oh, thank you, Jackie. God bless you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. We'll be here later today. It's 1:30. I've got a ton of paperwork to still work through. So I'm going to go dark for several hours. I've got a video coming out in about 2 hours after this. And it was my live this morning on TikTok. So you guys will be seeing that right about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Oh, thank you, Only M. God bless you. 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then I may do a live tonight at 8. I most likely will do, if not a live about Sebastian, we might just come here and just have a conversation or talk about stuff that's on your minds, where you guys get me, and I'm not talking, where I can actually read the chat, read your questions, answer your questions, something like that. I think that would probably be the most beneficial for tonight. So if I do something like that, it'll be later tonight around 8, 9 o'clock. But the rest of the day, I'm going to be just hitting this paperwork really hard, going through all this law and crap like that, because I tell you, this stuff enrages me, because a woman wanted to try to destroy me and she still just won't stop. She still thinks she can. It doesn't matter. It's all going to come out in the court hearing, and it's all going to be bad at the end for her, because she just never stopped. And so that's going to go with my extenuating circumstances and my aggravating circumstances related to this case. So hopefully things just settle down and they just move on. Enough's enough. But they won't, because they're completely, utterly obsessed. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because I got a mountain of freaking paperwork here and I hate having to deal with it. That's why. But we will. We will. Keep trucking, right? Put the boots on and truck through this pile of you-know-what. Anyways, guys, God bless you. We'll talk to you guys soon. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, what? Please be kind to others. All right. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work. We will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America. And more importantly, God bless our victims.